In a world that rushes past, have you ever stopped to wonder about the stories hidden in plain sight? The stories of those we choose not to see? Today, we're diving into a powerful narrative that challenges our perceptions and asks a tough question: whose voice do we choose to believe? This is the story of Maya, a girl society had already written off, and how her courage forced a community to open its eyes. Maya was invisible. A young black girl living on the streets, she was just part of the city's background noise. People would walk past her, their eyes sliding over her as if she were a ghost, a problem too big or too uncomfortable to acknowledge. She was used to the sting of dismissal, the cold shoulder of a world that had decided she didn't matter. Her days were a quiet battle for survival, her voice a whisper no one cared to hear. But Maya saw things others missed. From her vantage point on the fringes, she was a silent observer of the city's heartbeat, and one day she saw something that made her own heart stop. Two young girls no older than 10, their faces pale with a fear that was almost palpable. They were always with the same man, a figure whose smile never quite reached his eyes. His grip on their arms was always a little too tight, his words whispered with a menacing edge that only Maya seemed to notice. She saw the silent pleas in the girls' eyes, the way they flinched at his touch. She knew with a certainty that chilled her to the bone that they were in terrible danger. Her invisibility, once a shield, now felt like a cage. She had to do something. She tried to tell a police officer, her voice trembling as she explained what she'd seen. The officer barely glanced at her, his expression a mixture of annoyance and disbelief. "Move along," he said, waving her away. A shopkeeper she tried to warn just shooed her from his doorway, muttering about troublemakers. A woman walking her dog pulled her child closer, her fear directed not at the danger Maya described, but at Maya herself. Each rejection was a blow, reinforcing the painful message society had always sent her. You are homeless, you are black, you are not credible. Your words have no weight. Desperation began to gnaw at her. Were these little girls going to disappear because no one would listen to a girl like her? Just as despair threatened to consume her, a new figure appeared in the neighborhood. He was the complete opposite of Maya. Dressed in an expensive suit, he drove a car that gleamed under the streetlights. But his wealth couldn't hide the profound sadness in his eyes. This was Arthur, a millionaire haunted by a personal tragedy, searching for answers in the same gritty streets Maya called home. He was looking for a sign, for a clue, for anything that could make sense of his own loss. His grief made him see the world differently. He was looking at the cracks in the pavement, the faces in the crowd, searching for something everyone else ignored. And that's when he saw Maya. He didn't see a nuisance or a problem. He saw a young girl with an old soul and a look of desperate urgency in her eyes. Something about her compelled him to stop. Maya, seeing a flicker of something she hadn't seen in anyone else, attention, took a deep breath. This was her last chance. She walked up to him, her heart pounding. She told him everything. She described the man, the fear in the girl's eyes, the way they were controlled like puppets. She spoke with a raw, undeniable honesty that cut through the noise of the city. For the first time, someone was truly listening. Arthur saw the truth in her words, a truth that resonated with his own pain and his search for justice. He asked Maya to show him. As they stood hidden in the shadows of an alley, the man appeared with the two girls. The scene played out exactly as Maya had described. The man's voice was laced with venom as he berated one of the girls for dropping something. He grabbed her arm and the girl cried out, a small, muffled sound of pain. In that moment, Arthur saw it all. The veil was lifted. The danger was real, but then the man spotted them. His eyes locked onto Maya, and a sneer twisted his lips. "What are you looking at?" He spat, his words dripping with racial slurs. "Mind your own business, you're nothing." He turned to Arthur. "Are you really going to listen to her? Look at her. She's just trash." It was a pivotal moment. The man wasn't just threatening them. He was trying to use society's prejudice as his shield, confident that Arthur would believe the word of a well-dressed man over a homeless black girl. But he misjudged Arthur. He misjudged the power of truth. Arthur stepped forward, placing himself between the man and Maya. "I believe her," he said, his voice firm and unwavering. He pulled out his phone and dialed 911, his eyes never leaving the man. He relayed the address and exactly what he was witnessing. The man's bravado crumbled, replaced by panic. The wail of sirens cut through the tension. The police arrived, and this time they listened. With Arthur, a wealthy, influential man, corroborating her story, Maya's words suddenly had weight. The girls were gently taken aside and spoken to by a female officer. Their story, a harrowing tale of abduction, came pouring out. The man was arrested, his vile words silenced by the click of handcuffs. Justice, swift and decisive, had finally arrived. In the aftermath, everything changed. Maya was no longer invisible. The officers who had once dismissed her now looked at her with respect. The shopkeeper who had shooed her away came out to offer her a warm drink. The neighbors who had ignored her now truly saw her as the hero she was. Arthur made sure she wasn't forgotten. He used his resources to get her off the streets, into a safe home, and enrolled in school. He gave her the support she needed to build a future. He didn't just save her from the streets. He helped restore her dignity. Maya's story is a testament to the fact that courage has nothing to do with power or position. It's about doing the right thing, even when you have nothing, and even when the world is telling you that you are nothing. It's a stark reminder that prejudice and racism are poisons that silence the voices we need to hear most. Real change, real justice, begins with a simple but profound choice, the choice to listen. To look past our biases and see the humanity in everyone. Because sometimes the person society has thrown away is the only one holding the key to the truth. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content that makes you think, and share this message with others. Let's all try to listen a little more closely. See you next time.